What if the biggest move of the Broncos offseason hasn't happened yet and is hiding in plain sight? As the smoke clears from the explosive UFL championship where the DC Defenders crushed the Michigan Panthers 58-34 in Erie, calm settles over the NFL landscape. But beneath the surface, whispers are already circling. The spring league has ended, and now comes the moment of quiet chaos, when teams comb through the UFL's overlooked talents in hopes of striking gold. History tells us, when that window opens, the Denver Broncos pay attention. So far, Denver hasn't made a move, but don't let the silence fool you. This franchise has developed a habit, almost ritualistic, of diving into spring leagues when the dust settles. Over the past 3 years, they've quietly scooped up unpolished gems. Long snapper Mitchell Fraboni, 2022, USFL quarterback Ben DiNucci, 2023, XFL, and most recently, pass rusher Dondria Tillman, 2024, UF. None of them made headlines at first, but one by one, they carved out roles, some small, others significant. Fraboni is now a staple on special teams. Tillman racked up 5 sacks last season and became a problem for offensive lines. This pattern isn't coincidence. It's calculated. Denver scouts know that spring football isn't about flash, it's about hunger. It's where players fight not for fame, but for a second chance, and those are often the most dangerous ones. The question now is, who's next? Which unheralded athlete from the UFL's 2025 season will step onto NFL soil with something to prove? And could it be an orange and navy? While we wait for Denver's next quiet strike, a very different storm brews in New Orleans. Once a team synonymous with brilliance, the Saints now find themselves trapped in a strange illusion, pretending the past still applies. Their 2024 season began like a dream, 91 points in 2 games, including a brutal beatdown of the Cowboys. For a fleeting moment, it felt like Drew Brees had never left. But the dream ended fast. What followed was a collapse so brutal, it didn't just kill momentum, it exposed everything. After that electric start, the Saints went 3-12. They fired Dennis Allen mid-season. Their offense, once feared, became a ghost, scoring 20 or fewer points in 11 of their final 15 games. The locker room crumbled. Confidence vanished, and yet, the franchise refused to rebuild. It's now been 4 years since Brees' retirement, and New Orleans still clings to the mirage. Their offseason was awkward and unconvincing. No drastic moves, no full reset, just more extensions, more restructures, and more bets on aging names like Alvin Kamara and Brandon Cooks. They let rising star corner Paulson Adebo walk. They gave big money to Chase Young, who's recorded fewer sacks in 4 seasons than some players do in 1. The result, one of the league's oldest rosters, strapped for cap space and stuck in a holding pattern that screams denial. And then came the curveball. Derek Carr retires. The veteran, who was never the long-term answer, is now gone. And the plan, a second-round pick named Tyler Shoughan, older rookie QB, who's had more injuries than most veterans and played for 3 different college teams. At 26, he's barely younger than Trevor Lawrence. And yet, the franchise is placing its fragile hopes on him, hoping experience somehow replaces youth and upside. Kellen Moore takes over as head coach, but his honeymoon is already over. He's a respected offensive mind. Yes, but he's stepping into a house half on fire. Most top coaching candidates reportedly passed on New Orleans, sensing what Moore now faces, an uphill battle with limited tools, no cap flexibility, and a fan base still haunted by what used to be. Make no mistake, the Saints aren't just in transition, they're at a crossroads. And ironically, the best possible outcome for 2025 might be disaster, a full collapse, a bottom out so undeniable that it forces the front office to finally accept reality. Only then could they reset properly, maybe even with the one pick in 2026 and a shot at hometown prodigy Arch Manning. But until that happens, New Orleans walks a tightrope over a crumbling foundation. Fantasy experts are backing away. Oddsmakers have them tied for the worst Super Bowl odds in the NFL at 250-1. Their win total, a mere 5.5, the lowest in nearly 3 decades. This isn't just a decline, it's a quiet unraveling. And as we look at Denver's patient strategy finding fire in the ashes of spring and compare it to the Saints' stubborn resistance to change, we're reminded of a simple truth. In the NFL, the teams that adapt survive. The ones that cling to ghosts fade. If you're drawn to the hidden moves that shape franchises or fascinated by the slow-motion fall of one's great empires, this is your space. Drop a like if you appreciate stories others overlook. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns that go beyond the headlines. And tell us in the comments, should the Broncos take another shot on UFL talent this year? And will the Saints finally wake up or crash even harder? Your voice matters. Let's talk football, where the real stories are just beneath the surface.